Welcome, everybody, and good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me for another episode of Divine Living. Yes, it's Divine Living. Um, some of you may ask, what is divine living? Well, let me tell y'all since you asked. Let me tell you since you asked. Divine living is my show. It's a featured show here on the Tag app on the 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time slot. And me. I'm Miss Divine. I'm Miss Divine. So, Divine Living is a personal growth and wellness show where we talk about being well. And typically, we talk about being well through the 8 dimensions of wellness. Now, if you're new to this, you may not know what the 8 dimensions of wellness are. Well, I'm going to tell you. Today, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about dimensional conversations. We'll be hitting on the overview on a few of these dimensional conversations, y'all. And to be quite honest, as you may hear in the sound of my voice, I haven't been feeling very well this week. And was really wondering if I could even do this show today. But I had some friends. I have friends, y'all. I have some friends. And one in particular said, girl, you need us, we'll be there. So I want to thank you. I want to thank them for coming and supporting me through this journey today. I need you ladies to request the box if you would, please. Supporting me through this journey today. Because sometimes, no matter how hard we try, we run into obstacles, right? We run into obstacles. And my obstacle this past week had been on the physical realm, y'all. Again, you can probably hear it in my voice. I ain't gonna dwell too much on that. I ain't gonna dwell too much on everything about that. But what I am gonna say is, it's good to have support, right? It's great to have support. And that's the power of, I would say, social wellness. That's the power of social wellness. And when it comes to social wellness, how do we navigate through that? There's lots of things that we can do. But while we're doing those things, come on. I'm going to invite the ladies that are here to come on in. There are a couple others that will be joining us if they haven't already, if they're not here in the stream already. But they'll come up when they get here. I'm going to allow them to come on in. And talk to us about who they are, what they have going on, and all those kind of good things. Y'all bear with me while I work through all of this stuff today. Thank you again for coming and hanging out with us for Divine Living, a personal growth and wellness show where we talk about being well. Knock, knock. Y'all know who this is. If y'all don't, y'all should, because she come and hang out with me pretty often, and I'm glad that she does. Go ahead, Miss Nikki 24/7. Tell everybody who you are, what you got going on the app.
Hey, I'm Nikki 24/7. I'm here on the app 24. No, I'm just joking. I'm not. I have a show called Empowered with some wonderful, beautiful, amazing ladies. We're here Wednesday nights. I'm also a part of the Thirsty Lifestyles crew. And essentially, we're about empowerment and just trying to bring positivity and love to people's lives. Literally, their life and their lives. And so, yeah, that's who I am. And I'm so fortunate, I'm just going to put this out there, to be a soror of Miss Divine. In case you guys did not know, that's what we do. That's what we do. But yeah, that's just me. That's just me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today.
Absolutely.
Oh, let me see. Y'all, yeah,
And your
here we
hair looks amazing.
go. Oh,
It
thank
looks
you.
amazing.
You. Thank you. Hello,
Hi,
Snow
love.
Baby.
Hi,
Go
Miss
ahead and tell
Divine.
everybody who you are, what you got going on this app.
Hi, everybody. I'm Snow Baby. You can catch me with Nikki on Wednesdays and Thursdays for empowerment and thirsty lifestyles. And I'm not a big on my own streamer. We getting it together. So you don't have to catch me when you can on that front. But outside of that, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Snow Baby, for coming and hanging out with me. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us. I very much appreciate it.
Good morning.
Hello, Miss Cuckoo.
Hi, everybody.
Go ahead and tell everybody who you are, what you got going on the app.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gugu. I have a show on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, um, Taco Tuesday, where we speak about the female body, just everything that is female related. The taco being the beautiful lady flower, the vajingo. And then on Wednesdays, I am with Nikki and Snow and Lady D in my on empowerment. And then just catch me when you can any other day. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. And coming in right now, we have Lady Dream. Good morning. Tell
Hello,
everybody what you
everyone.
got going on, beautiful. Thank you, pretty
Hi,
girl.
everyone. I'm Lady Dream. So I'm also with the other girls for empowerment on Wednesdays and Nikki 24/7 live. But I also have my own show coming in February. I do have more details coming up later on. Everything is not set, but I will let everybody know. In the meantime, you can just catch me when you can. If I'm on, come in and say hi. Catch a vibe.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the wellness wheel, and a couple of you came in. If you have your wheels today, I don't even know where mine is, y'all. Oh, yes, I do. Uh, oh, y'all just don't understand my challenges. Uh, if you have them, you have them. That's great. But we will be talking about some of those dimensions of that wheel, and maybe not how we're doing, but just giving a kind of of an overview of some of the dimensions and some of the important things to me right now too. So I wanted to specifically highlight right now the importance of social wellness, because without social wellness, you all would not be here with me today. Again, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming out and supporting me. Um, I might throw some things out for the initial discussion, y'all, but I'm probably going to just let you ride with it, because you hear what's going on here. And I'm just happy that I have some experts in here that know how to do some things. So thank you for coming and hanging out. Um, what I really wanted to, well, first of all, tell everybody thank you. Thank you in the audience for coming and hanging out with me. This is Divine Living, a personal growth and wellness show where we talk about being well. Miss Divine, that's me, wasn't feeling very well physically this week. So I reached out to my girls. I reached out to my friends here on this social media app. and said, hey, y'all, I'm feeling kind of down. I don't even know if we can do a show. They said, we got you, girl. We got you. So they're here to help me and keep the show going for all of us because wellness is important. And knowing wellness in the dimensional realm is extremely important too. So first, let's talk a little bit. Now, this isn't, last week we talked about 4 dimensions, and one of those dimensions was social. I just wanted to tie social in today because it is the basis of why we are even able to do this stream today because of the connections that we have with each other socially. So I wanted to ask, why is it important to be authentic, be genuine in your social connections and especially social media, being true to oneself?
So I'll go ahead and start. I think that, when we were back in the day, empowerment used to be called Women Law Wednesdays, right? And we had, that as one of the laws of being your authentic, true self, right? And I think that, one of our guiding, posts or lights as women is kind of to be your authentic self and to stand in that light. I think it's important because at the end of the day, that is a part of wellness, is knowing your whole self. And so presenting your whole self, presenting your whole authentic self, you have to lay down with you at night, right? You have to get up and look at yourself in the morning. You have to go through this life, maybe not alone, but with yourself for life. And so being true to who you are is the best way to show up. It's not always possible. And I do understand, how and why, the reasons of those things. But at the end of the day, you came in this world alone, unless you were a twin and you guys were like conjoined, right? No, I'm just joking. You came in this world alone and you're going to leave this world alone. Along the way, we're going to meet some great, amazing people like this wonderful panel that we have. But it's important that I show up as my authentic self for my friends and myself, because that's the only thing of value I really have to offer. It's the highest value that I have to offer, right? And when you know that you offer yourself authentically, I don't know, there's just like no greater good than that, I feel. What do you guys think?
I think you said everything.
I'm just gonna put one thing on top real quick. I don't know if y'all ever tried to not be your authentic self. It's tiring. It's a whole lot of work. I don't want to do all that. It's so much easier to just be you. It really is. I'm too tired. I don't, honestly.
Yes, I think the only time to not be your authentic self is if you're an actor and you're like, trying out for some type of role. But other than that, it's always good to be yourself. And also, I'm going to just throw this in there: be yourself and be honest. You know, um, Stay on your word. Whatever you say, mean what you say. And yeah. Other than that, Nick said everything that I was going to say.
I would also add that genuine part where you actually also find like-minded people, because as much as you can be authentic, to yourself, like Snow saying, it can be trying sometimes, but if you find like-minded people, it comes so easily, it just comes so naturally.
Yeah. I think that
Yeah.
sometimes, Lady D, you touched on something just a minute ago when you were like, the only time you shouldn't be authentic is if you're acting. Sometimes we know that we might put ourselves in situations where we may not be able to be authentic, right? Like showing your authentic side, saying something you want to actually say may put you in danger, may put you in harm's way, or may put people around you in that. I'm just thinking about that, like when keeping it real goes wrong, right? Like that kind of part, right? So I think that there definitely are situations where, you stop, you think, and you say, normally this is what I would do. I want to do this. If this is how I would react. But this situation doesn't warrant that. And I guess that's being your authentic self too, right? But I do think, especially when you ask Miss Divine about social media, right? I do think that there is a part on there where sometimes you may have to put up a mask, or you may be
Mm.
tempted to. And it could be for authentic, or it could be for good or real reasons.
I'm glad
Yeah,
that
but
you touched on that because I was definitely thinking that too. You know, when it comes to us on social media platforms, uh, even here on this app, then being authentic to ourselves may come as a challenge sometimes. And when it does, then does that mean that you're not genuine? Does it mean that you're not authentic? You know,
Mm.
it's something to ponder on,
Miss
definitely.
Divine, why are you doing this today? You gonna hit the nail right on the head today. I've been struggling with this for the last couple of days, right? Um, I do feel like that you're absolutely right, especially on here. Me being my authentic self sometimes in situations may come across as inauthentic to other people, right? May come across as like it could be uncaring, or could be non-supportive, or something like that can come across as fake or something like that. It's very interesting in that dynamic that it's hard to convey across screens the real intent of someone's actions. And so yeah, I've been struggling with that. I've been struggling so bad that at times it makes you want to feel like, well, I don't want to do this anymore, because me being my
Mhm.
authentic self is not good enough for anybody.
Mm,
But at the end of the day, it's like,
mm.
do you sleep well at night? Because we can't be pleasing everybody. And being like, I want to be authentic, but then it has to be a filtered authenticity. You know, sometimes you just have to be just full on authentic and bump what other people think, you know, as long as you
Love
sleep
that
well at
about you,
night. And
Gugu. I love that. You're able to turn it off and turn it on and be like, I'm gonna be me regardless to what, you know? And I love that.
I think the other thing too, is being able to create a space in where you feel comfortable and confident in being authentic.
Yeah.
That's really what, like, if you're not in a space where you feel that, it makes it very hard for that part of you to show up and to shine. When you have a space where you feel that just that community and that love and that just understanding and respect between people, it creates a very healthy environment and where now that part of you can flourish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where
Mm-hmm.
we can
That's
be
why
friendly.
I love you all so much. I'm sorry, Lady Dream, were you about to say something?
yeah, I was
Oh
just
no, I
gonna
was just
say
going
that
to.
when
Oh, go ahead.
when you're streaming, that's some people, depending on your what type of show that you have, I'm gonna say that. Sometimes you do have to act, as I said before, put on that, that other personality to please the people or to go with your content. For instance, I do know a TikToker, Urkel. He's not Urkel, but he looks like Urkel. And when he puts on the glasses and stuff, he has to basically, portray that person in his live. Now, is he being authentic? I would say so because he's doing what he's love. It's comedy, right? But he's also portraying a different person. So it's like it's just like it's a balance that you have to have. Um, and when you also stream sometimes some people like Nikki, she's very authentic. She's just herself. She has a stream. She's, caring, funny, and it just shows like people gravitate towards her for a reason because she's authentic. When you are like other people and you have to put on a different personality all the time, like you're not you and you're not playing a role like Urkel, you're just not yourself. It shows, and people don't really come in your life, or you have a lot of drama. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's
One
what I
thing, one
see.
thing that one thing that I heard, I think it was Snow that said it, but it could have been all of you in some part. You touched on those people, the people around you. And one thing that I want to definitely encourage, support, and understand then hopefully people can understand the connections of what your support looks like, that networking, the relationships, and when you are authentic to yourself, how those supports, that networking actually works for you in way more ways than one. Sometimes you think that you're the giver in that networking, and you're actually the receiver too. So
Yeah.
that's why I love you all so much, and every piece that you do individually and collectively. So again, thank you for coming and hanging out with me, chilling with me today, and just talking about these dimensions of wellness. So last week we talked about four. I want to kind of touch on another four, not necessarily that we hit all of them, but the four that I want to kind of touch on today are intellectual, occupational, physical, and financial. Those are the other four that we did not talk about on last week. Again, they are intellectual, occupational, physical, and financial. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out with me. This is Divine Living. I am Miss Divine. This is a personal growth and wellness show where we talk about being well and being well through the 8 dimensions of wellness. Last week, we talked about 4 dimensions, and those were spiritual, social, environmental, and the other E,
Emotional.
emotional. Emotional. Those were the 4 that we touched on this week. And I'm gonna say a little something at the end about doing them the way that I did. Hopefully, y'all don't let me forget what I'm gonna say, but why I did it this way and how these may reflect on who we are today. So let's dive in right now in regards to intellectual wellness and the benefits of intellectual wellness and actually being lifelong learners. I know Miss Nikki 24/7 is going to be happy about hearing about us being some lifelong long learners, but let's talk about that today.
Yeah. Ooh, I was like, you woke up today ready. The cards was in the like divine living. She don't call it divine living for a reason. You know,
Okay.
you didn't put all these together. These are my top 4 things on my these are the 4 dimensions actually that I'm working on this year the most. So I'm like, wow, this is really, really interesting and crazy. Um, Intellectual wellness is hard. I think it's hard. For me, it's hard because I can't ever get enough of it. And so I don't know how to like, what is the word? Like quench or satiate? What is that word? Where it's like you
Yeah,
have to,
yeah.
Yeah.
like get your full, right? And
Uh-huh.
it's super hard for me to get that full. And part of the reason I love this app is because I feel like I'm able to come on here and meet so many different people and have those intellectual conversations that I crave so much. Um, but yeah, I think it's important. It's important for you to continue to be lifelong learners because I think that's the only way that we are going to, in my opinion, end all the problems that we have with like the social part of wellness, the
Yeah.
emotional part of wellness. I don't think that like we don't talk to each other enough, or we can't really talk to each other through differences because we can't meet each other intellectually sometimes. Sometimes.
I
Um,
will say for me, when it comes to the like, oh, sorry, Google.
no, go ahead, Mama.
Okay. I will say for me, when it comes to the intellectual part of wellness, I think it's kind of the beginning part for me, right? Because everything starts as a thought. Everything like that's where your wellness really begins. So I think that it's definitely something that's important to nourish and to nurture and to grow. I think that that's where growth begins. I don't think you can have growth without intellectual wellness. There's too many big words today. I'm getting tongue tied.
Um,
That's
I
all.
was I had to go and read the definition, of course, because and I found something very interesting. It says the definition of intellectual wellness. Intellectual wellness recognizes creative abilities and encourages us to find ways to expand our knowledge and skills. Intellectual wellness can be developed through personal and professional development, cultural involvement, community involvement, and personal hobbies, which I think is so true. I have been blessed to have met people from all over the world, and it like that cultural part of understanding people's cultures, and you actually it opens up relationships, because you're learning about other people's cultures, you're learning about how they deal with certain things. It teaches us empathy towards other people, I guess. And I think with knowledge, we can learn something and then use it in everyday life. So,
Awesome.
am I making sense? Sometimes I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
speaking English,
of course.
but
You're making sense. So Google is right, like so intellectual wellness is very is needed. It's healthy for you to keep learning things every day. So I'm a pastry chef, and just because I went to school, my chef told me that even if you're a home baker, you never shun them or anything because you can always learn from somebody. They may have a technique that you don't know about, like so my thing is like we don't know everything, and the saying goes like once you know what you know, you realize that you don't know anything at all. So I'm always eager to keep learning. I have multiple, like I indulge in multiple crafts.
Mhm.
You name it, I did it. Crochet, knitting, painting, rugs, everything. Candles, like so. You always, it's always good to learn. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're reading a book, if you're learning a new hobby, if you're learning a new trade, um, if you're, just engaging with somebody and learning about, a different type of lifestyle. That's still learning. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my take on it.
Some of the key things that I saw you guys point out or talk about is creativity and intellectual wellness. Not only comes from reading books, but the hobbies, the cultural awareness, all those type of things. It actually makes us sharper in problem solving and other connections. Go ahead, Nikki.
Yeah, creativity. I was thinking that as we were talking, I'm like, look at this space that we're on and the networking, the intellectual, the people that I have met have allowed me to explore a new part of my intellectual journey that I actually wasn't quite sure. I actually didn't know I possessed it. Like I would never have considered myself a creative person. That would have never been a word I would have ever used to describe me. I do
Yeah.
think that after a year of kind of being on this app, I'm like, I might have a little bit of creativity in me. It might not be in that traditional sense of what I
Yeah.
define creativity as. I
Yeah.
didn't, I never defined creativity in this way. So
Yeah.
I, I like, when I look at like Jamila Joy, when I look at Miss Divine, y'all know Miss Divine, when she get on that show, she turned into a whole different person. I was like, what? Y'all out here making and creating this? I'm like, my eyes are, I'm floored every single time I come on here and learn about the creative part of people. And so I never thought about intellectuality and creativity as
Yeah.
being, this sort of thing that moves wave. It just rolls together. I never thought about that.
It's so funny because it's taken like the relationships on this app for me too to be aware of what everybody just doesn't make a dress out of foil paper, you know.
Yeah.
It was really that. I was like, y'all don't do that, you know what I mean? And they're like, girl, no. And I'm like, oh, okay, So I thought it was just people something that people did,
Look at
and
you. Look at you.
So I like the intellectual wellness dimension, and I'm going to throw up my wheel, a peek of my wheel for you guys. Intellectual is that big blue one for me. Intellectual is that big blue one because I love just doing new things. You throw it at me like, girl, we're gonna read a 1,000-page book by tomorrow. I'm like, yes, let's do it. The challenge is on. But don't go telling me to do some other crazy things. Like I don't know, if we were running, I would watch you
Right.
run and cheer you
I thought
on
the
the
same thing.
sidelines.
Let's go
Don't tell
run.
me to go run.
Let's
I'm not
go.
doing a marathon. I'll meet you
Let's
at the
go
end.
run. Girl, I know you run. I know you run. No, we running together.
No.
No, I got
Yes.
water for you at the finish line.
Look, this is my line on the wheel. It's like a sliver. It's like that. It's the wheel is that thick for physical.
Okay. How about a 5K?
No,
Girl.
absolutely not.
Look, I told you, Snow, we got water for you at the end. We gonna be cheering over there. We got
Okay, I
pom-poms,
need more than
confetti.
just water. If I'm doing this by myself, I need signs. I need something.
We got you, girl. Look, I got markers and everything ready. We got
I would
you.
love, I want to run a 5K. That's definitely something that I have like a goal of one day is to be able to run a 5K.
And listen,
That's
I will
awesome.
be at that finish line, baby. I promise. I will be at that finish line with you.
Hmm.
That's right. Well, since we're at it, let's go ahead and talk about that physical wellness dimension, y'all. How our bodies affect our overall well-being. We're talking about cheering Snow along, but really in our physical wellness, it has a lot to do with it. Not just our actual moving of our bodies, this this uh this congestion that I'm dealing with, the things we eat, how we sleep, the amount of rest, and all of those type of things, all are compounded in our physical wellness dimension. What I loved about your Sunday mornings show that you guys used to have is that I got some tidbits on how to get it right, how to do things right. And even if I didn't do them all. It is the support system of having people together. And sometimes people don't understand that physical wellness dimension also composes that support as well. We got you, Snow. We cheering you on, girl. No, I'm just playing, but for real, for real. Let's talk
I'm
about the
playing, but I'm
physical
for real.
wellness
So
dimension.
are you playing or are you for real?
Girl, I'm playing, but I'm for real.
That makes
Listen, I'm so mad at you for bringing this up because I feel like I have to do it now this year. I'm like, there's like a part of me where I'm like, oh God, now I really got to go start exercising. It's hard, but if you don't take care of yourself, you don't take care of
There
your
can be
body,
nothing left for you to be taken
your
care
body's
of.
going to take care of you. It's going to slow down. You're going to get sick. You're going to get the mental fog. All of the other parts, all of the other dimensions are going to fall apart. They're going to come out of sync, right? Like that wheel is going to start to slowly kind of like dissipate. And I think that that's the hardest part, and the realization that I'm coming to right now is that, I can take care of all these other parts of me, but if I don't take care of my physical part, my body, well, what is the point in doing all the other stuff?
Intertwined.
Right,
Ain't gonna have a body left to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right.
Taking care of your body is, number one. But, also remember you have to take care of your mind because your mind also, um, your mind affects your body and what happens to it. If your mind is not right, if you're stressed, for instance, you can lose weight rapidly because of the stress. You could be eating every day healthy and everything, but you can still lose that weight. Like, and it's unhealthy losing weight, like that. So you have to have your mental has to be clear in order to be physically healthy as well. Um, and also what we intake has to be healthy. Our mind has to be thinking good thoughts at the same time, in order to get through that. And it takes a lot of discipline because I don't know about y'all, but some of these healthy foods are just nasty.
Bite your tongue.
but
Yeah.
but
Bite your tongue.
but you have to eat it
Oh,
in order
yeah,
to
Robert,
stay
I
healthy,
forgot.
right?
Yeah.
Inexpensive.
It is okay. All right, y'all, hit me up. If y'all need to find some good tasting food that's healthy and cost effective, please hit my line. I got y'all. Like for real, I got y'all. 'Cause-
But
No, because there's such a stigma. There's such a stigma around healthy food that that's why people don't do it. And I'm here to tell y'all it's a stigma for a reason that there is good food that's good for you, tastes good, and ain't gonna leave you like trying to, keel over and have the, the sleepies after you eat it. Like it's gonna give you the energy to get you through your day, not make you want to go to bed.
and also like even the foods that are supposed to be unhealthy, like the people who now I'm not saying this to you, but like I know you're a rabbit and like always eating your leaves and stuff. But I like meat, I like rice, I like stew, I like hearty food. Doesn't mean it's unhealthy. It's just obviously the amounts and you know, let's eat our leaves in peace and our meat in peace and not judge each other. Is all I'm saying.
I don't eat meat. I don't eat meat because of physical limitations to my health. I don't think that there's wrong for people that can digest meat and can consume meat and it helps them. That's great. My body is not that body. So that's
Shout
something
out to
that's
all the
my
rabbits
medical.
in the room. Shout
Shout
out to
out to
all the
the
rabbits.
rabbit! Shout out to the rabbit!
There's a few of them in here. Shout out to the rabbits in the room. Come on now.
Rabbits.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm one of them, but I do enjoy learning about it. I do. I might fix one rabbit meal. Yeah. Come on now. See, look, I
I
got
save
rabbit
a lot
friends
of
in
them
the
in my
chat.
TikTok roll. I might try them. I'm gonna try these
Yeah.
chickpea meatballs this week coming up. I'm about to try
Called
those. They're gonna be really good.
Can I just also add to what Lady D was saying? You were saying like it's important to take care of your mind, you know. Sometimes when
Yes.
you like feeling so down and you just like in bed and you're feeling just like you don't want to deal with the world. And then that getting up and just be like, you know what, let me just walk around the block. And it comes back to taking care of your body all of a sudden. And then you see like how much it intertwines. And actually, like Nikki was saying, that it's just all joined together. If one part is not working, it's like there's a broken link somewhere. So
So let me ask you
Yeah.
guys this. Which one of you guys are ready to do this challenge with me though? I am a kind of person, if I work out, I need friends to work out with me and I need to do it together because I lose motivation if it's just me. I'm gonna keep it 100%. I lose motivation. I need a group and I need to beat you or you need to beat me or something like that. Who's ready to do it with me?
Look, Man of Steel is in the
this.
comments
Let's
because he
do
be
this.
knocking on the door all the time. He's like, I done wrote this out to y'all 1,000. I've written it out to you 1,000 times.
I'm ready. I just know I need a group. I need some people with me.
But isn't that the motivation is the key? Like, like I always lose motivation. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start. I'll start for a week and then the next week I'll be like, all right, I'm going to do it the next day. And the next day never comes.
Right.
So I need that.
It ain't never gonna
Let's
come.
start
You gotta do it
Next
today.
partner for real.
Look, I'm ready. Let's get this mapped out for real. I'm ready, y'all. Let's get it going.
Okay, here, let's start with this. Hold on. Everybody, do you have a bottle of water near you?
Not right now.
It's almost empty now.
Okay, everybody who has a bottle of water near you, real easy thing. Take a sip. You want to start on a healthy way to getting your body right? Drink some water. Let's start there.
But in real life, if you guys say you want to do this, I promise you, you will hate me. Because if you say you're going to do something, ask anybody on here. I go hard in the paint for real. Then I'm going to be bugging the crap. I'm going to bug you.
Let's go.
We're very competitive. We're very competitive people.
Let's go. I've been saying, come on, y'all.
All right,
And I'm that person too.
She said it.
Man of Steel.
recorded this,
Yeah.
Miss Divine, is recorded.
It is.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna be on my YouTube. It's gonna be on my YouTube. It's gonna be on my YouTube.
I didn't commit to anything, so I'm just
Ah!
saying.
Google said, "Don't count me in." Google said, "Don't count her in."
I did not say don't count me, and I'm just saying I did not agree to anything. Let me go
Well,
think
you
about it.
listen. All right. I heard
Look.
everybody say yes. I heard everybody say that in 6 months when we do a check-in, we're gonna see a line somewhere. Somewhere.
Come on
Yeah.
now. Come on now. Look,
Right.
look, let me tell everybody where we are, what we got going on, because we'll sit up here and laugh all day, y'all. That's what we'll do. But this is an actual show, a featured show. I'm Miss Divine, and this is Divine Living. This is a personal growth and wellness show where we're talking about being well. And I called on my friends to help me because if y'all can't hear, I've been a little on the downhill slide on my physical wellness this past week. And they said, "We got you, girl. We got you." So we're touching bases real quickly because we're down to the bottom quarter of the hour. But I want to make sure that we hit some of these other two dimensions too, just to talk about them, give people an awareness of what we do here on this app. We try to talk about the 8 dimensions of wellness and how it affects us. We've talked about already today, intellectual and physical. There's 2 others that I just want to touch bases on real quick today, and that's financial and occupational. I think that they kind of go hand in hand, but let's talk about financial wellness real quick and what it means to be financially well, and the ability to achieve or achieving stability and security in our financial wellness. We don't have to stay here a long time. I just want to bring attention to where it is because when we talk about being well and creating our wellness wheel, you can't be you can't aim for 100% if you don't touch bases to some of those harder conversations that may need a little more work. So how does physical wellness impact our overall well-being, financial wellness impact our overall well-being?
I think it impacts it. First of all, I think I want to highlight what you just said. You said the word hard conversation. A lot of people don't like to talk about finances. A lot of people don't like to talk about money, especially when it's like, this is what I find. If you're talking about investing, if you're talking about retirement, if you're talking about saving, people don't like to talk about it when they feel they can't do it. I don't have enough to do this. I don't have enough to, save or invest or any of those things. They don't like to talk about it. But you have to learn about it. You have to talk about it because at the moment that you do have enough, it's not like you're going to just open that all of a sudden and then figure it out, right? Like it's manifesting. It's all about this. If you start talking about it enough, sure enough, you're going to find out I actually do have enough, even if it's 20 cents every single month. If I put 20 cents in an account, compound interest is going to do something, right? It might not do what you want it to do, the amount that you want, but it's going to do something. And so I just find that people don't have the conversation, especially, people are my people. I was going to say melanated people, but non-melanated people too. But we don't talk about it enough. We've never had generational wealth or those experiences to pass it down and have someone talk to us. And it's a conversation that really needs to be had and also needs to be had on this app because there's a lot of spending, reckless spending. And we don't want to talk about that, but there's a lot of reckless spending that puts us at a negative or a detriment in our own life, right? And how do we get out of that? How do we?
Right. You said a mouthful. Like, we don't know. Like, coming out of school, we do not know about finance. We don't know about money. We really don't know how, to use it or exchange it or, to create portfolios and, have CDs and bonds. Nobody teaches us that. And then when they talk about credit and you have to go look at your credit score, people are scared because they don't know what it is to accumulate credit. And once you learn this, and once you learn how to read taxes, you can do your own taxes. Read the book. It tells you step by step how to do it. And if you know this, you know how to deduct certain things. You know how to move money around. As far as investing, you have to learn about it. There, go to Google is free. So learn about it and learn how money moves. Look at all these rich people. They didn't start with a whole bunch of money. I know we say that a lot of them were inherited money and stuff, but a lot of them weren't, and they know how money moves. Learn about your liabilities and your assets. Learn about these things. And if matter of fact, I'm just gonna give a tip: Rich Dad Poor Dad. Read it. It it helps. Um, so, but once you learn these things and once you can be more financially healthy, you'll be help. You'll have a lot less stress. I mean, um, I don't know who said money don't make you happy, but it make me happy when all my bills are paid and I don't have to worry about nothing.
Right,
I'm
Okay.
stressed.
right.
I'm stressed when I don't
I
have.
just wanted to touch bases on this topic for just a bit to just bring the awareness of it. I know we may have other things that we want to say, but we can talk some more in the after party. The next dimension that I wanted to hit on to was occupational and finding our purpose and satisfaction in our work. And if you are not employed, you don't have an actual job, that same thing can be into volunteering and how you actually give back to your community, which is important to y'all. I always promote volunteering and being able to give back to. Um, it doesn't even have to be the people that have given back to me, but the understanding that this thing that we do here on Earth takes us all takes us all. And yeah, what the importance is actually in finding satisfaction and purpose in the work we do in our life. I want to start. I want to start. I quit my job last week. Actually, yesterday was my last day. It's been a stressful week, y'all. I put in my resignation. I put in my resignation, in a job that I absolutely love. I absolutely love. I love going to work. I didn't necessarily love everything about it, but I love the people that I work for, like work with. And I have an opportunity to do something totally different. And it came to me actually on a whim, but I'm going into a position now where it's teaching me something totally different. I'm not working with people. I'm going to be doing more of computer programming and things of that nature, but they're paying me to learn. And I'm like, there's no way that I can pass up this opportunity. And even though it was a hard decision to make, to say, I'm not going to work here anymore, I cried yesterday. I cried because I knew I was going to leave these people. But I was like, man, if I don't do this, then I'm living a lie to everybody else that I say, go for it. I'm living a lie. It's important for us to know, to challenge ourselves, to have that purpose in saying, some things aren't actually being fulfilled for me, and I need to do something a little different now. So I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to do it. Thankful that I'm going to be paid to learn, and I'm prayerful. I'm having faith that this is the purpose that is for me. That's
I
my
think that's the one
occupational
I needed
wellness.
to. I think that's the one I needed to hear the most right now because I feel like I'm kind of in that transitionary period a little bit too. I'm about to go quit my job. No, I'm just
No,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Have another
I'm
one
just kidding.
first, though.
I wish
Have a
I
plan.
could.
Have a
I wish
plan.
I could. I wish it was
Have a
that
plan.
simple. Well, exactly. And that's kind of exactly where I wanted to go with this is to make sure that, yes, there is the side of it that's where it's you wanting to do things that fill and, fill and feed your soul, right? But like we were just talking about before, there is a financial aspect to life, especially in adulthood. Like there is. And so just understanding that piece of it too and not ignoring that part of it. You know what I mean? Like you said, have another job before you quit a job. That was my mama didn't teach me a whole lot, but mama definitely taught me that.
That's correct. But Miss
Mm.
Divine, I just want to say congratulations on taking that leap, because that is
Yes.
one brave thing to do. And also, we just got finished talking about intellectual wellness. That adds on to it because you don't know this job, but now you are getting paid to learn it. So that was taking a step there too, to say like,
Mhm.
okay, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm gonna learn it and I'm gonna get paid doing
Mhm.
it. That's like it's smart all the way around. Like I,
Mhm.
don't be afraid to, like, I'm talking to Russ now. Don't be afraid to take those leaps, take those risks, to just have faith. If you see an opportunity that's paying you more, or looks interesting to you, go on and go say, all right, like, well, let me go conquer this. Let me learn something new. Let me get more education. So I just want to say congratulations to Miss Divine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was scared. I'm
Absolutely.
still scared, but I'm walking through this with faith in my fear. I'm like faith over fear, faith over fear, faith over fear. I got
I
this.
think the
Thank you
cool
guys for
thing
your
that
support.
I got from what Lady D was saying too is starting something new is just a whole new opportunity to implement the 8 dimensions because
Mm.
every
Mm,
single piece
yeah,
of those, every single one of those is
thank
involved
you,
in
Minister.
everything we do. So just looking at it as a new opportunity to really plug into all of them, a new environment, a new social experience with the people you're around, a new job, maybe different physical aspects to this job, different emotions. Like they're all involved.
And not
Mm.
letting your fear hold you back, because sometimes we get stuck in our old ways because of fear, and we probably keep ourselves from like something that could make us like so happy because of the
Definitely.
fear. So
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
that's very inspirational. I know that. I know that it is definitely hearing you take that leap of faith is very inspiring for people that are kind of on the fence about like what's the next step for me? Where do I kind of want to be and what do I want to do?
Yes.
I feel inspired. I'll tell you that much right now. I
I
definitely
can
feel
say
inspired.
that that's my drive too in it. Like I look, y'all, I applied for this thing back in November, so it's been giving me anxiety since November.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what
Oh
happens? What do
no.
I do? How do I do this? Asking everybody, what do you think? How do you feel? What should I do? Like, and knowing
Yeah.
there were so many people like, girl, don't take that job, don't do that, don't do, and still don't do that to me. Like, don't do it, don't take the job, and I'm like, oh. I'm doing it. I'm going. I'm going. Like I'm running. I'm jumping. I'm going. And it was hard this week too because I've been sick and I'm like, okay, I'm starting on Monday, y'all. I'm starting this new position on Monday. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, how do I transition from the old to the new, And after I turned those keys in last night, I was like, yes, yes.
Bringing in the new job with grace and style only, like Miss Divine can. Okay. We're walking
it
into this
was
new
it
job
was
with grace and style.
oh and it's so cool because the new place is like, we're waiting for you, we're waiting, like,
I
oh,
love
it
it.
was
I
awesome.
love
It's
it.
such an awesome feeling, such an awesome feeling. So I'm like, come on, y'all, when you feel scared, there's nothing better than walking past that fear. I was talking
Mm.
about that the other day in your show,
Mm.
Nikki, where I turned the channel. I turned the channel in the very anticipation of anxiety because I said, I don't want to move. I don't want to see. And I missed the good part. And that's how life can be. You want to turn around because it looks scary. And on the other side of scare is victory. And the
Oh,
Chiefs won. The Chiefs won, and I missed it. All I get to see is like, dang, they won. And I wasn't even there. I didn't. I didn't even get to see because I turned the channel. Turn the channel. Don't turn the channel.
Don't
Press
No,
through
turn
turn
the
the
your
channel.
channel.
fears.
Turn
Press
the
through your
channel. I'm
fears.
just kidding.
You know
Look,
that? I know you
talk about
said it.
turning the channel, and we're like, girl, we got signs of victory over here for you. Come on. Don't make these signs be
Oh.
null and void. You
No,
talk
I'm just
about this
kidding.
5K.
Hey,
Don't do it.
no, that's something I've always wanted to be able to do. I at one point wanted to do a marathon. I said, girl, be real. And so I said, let's start with the 5K.
You
I've
got
done
this. I
them.
believe in
I've
you.
done them with my family, you guys. I have done a half marathon. I have done one. I've done a 5K.
I've done a
Oh,
half 5K.
okay. But you
And
won't do a
I have
5K with me. Oh yeah, I did a whole half marathon. Do a 5K with me then.
listen, I did that once in my life. My dad asked me to do that. That's the man and probably the only person on this earth I would do something like that's who I did it for. I can't, y'all. That's not me in
All
any
right, well, let me talk to your father and tell him to tell you
well,
to
I've
do this
done
5K with
marathons
me.
too, and I guess.
Thank you.
I
Look,
did
y'all,
marathons.
we've come to the bottom of the hour. We're going to close this thing out. I want to say thank you to the ladies of empowerment, and thank you for coming and hanging out with me, making this a better place to be today for me. For me, in order to share this space with you. I love you all so much. What were you going to say, Nikki, before I get up out
You
of here?
wanted
Well,
to tie
close
them
it out.
all back together.
Ah, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for letting me know. Thank you. Okay, so in our discussion the last week, Mana Still and we talked about the importance of these dimensions and how they work in our lives. Okay, so these 4 dimensions, and I just want to. This isn't really like a challenge to do something, but a challenge to think and to think past ourselves. So these 4 dimensions that we talked about today, intellectual, occupational, physical, and financial, we in our review felt as if these are most of the time strengths that are in inherited by men. By men.
Ooh.
Oh,
And the other four,
oh, I didn't.
spiritual, social, environmental, and intellectual, environmental and emotional, are ones that are usually strengths of women. Now, I'm not saying that it is or isn't, but when you talk about those strengths and the ones that you find highs or lows, then look at that in retrospect of your own life. Um, if these are things that you need to enhance, and even in our relationships with other people, know the things that you have strengths in and the things that you have weaknesses in, and do the work to make them better. Do the work to make them better. When we have conversations with different people and different, especially men versus women, know your strength. And it's not a fight to know your strength. Just know it, own it. And when you don't have the strength in it, allow the supports to support you. Allow the supports to support you. This has been another episode of Divine Living, y'all. We're gonna stay for the after party, but I want to say thank you to all my gifters. Thank you to all my gifters. My top 10 for the stream: CD Tate, Nikki 24/7, G Way or No Way, Lady Dream, Visionary, Rainmaker, Shimmer, accepted application, Mana Still, and Miss Dee Dee. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out with me. And as always, I leave you with our words, my words to you, and hopefully your words to another. Without words, the speech cannot be heard. Without a voice, there's nothing to be said. Without sound, it's only left to be seen. And without them all, we're just beings without being a thing. Use your voice to be the light of change. This has been another episode of Divine Living. Love you all. Love you all. Love you. We're hanging out. Whoever wants to hang out, the ladies can stay here as long as they want.